This is the Easy Motion Neo Volt, and it's the perfect bike for today because it's wet, it's rainy, it's sort of overcast. This thing is feature rich. You've got front and rear fenders, rear rack, front and rear lights, dynamo powered off of that front hub. So whether you're in electric mode or not, maybe the battery is completely out, you're still going to get light for safety. And I think it even has a capacitor so the rear light stays lit. And that's pretty standard in Europe, but kind of neat to see in a bike that's here in the United States. So in terms of the bike itself, you've got seven speeds to choose from in this nice Shimano derailleur here. Rear cassette, working off of these trigger shifters up here, easy to access, fairly standard. Nice little kind of almost a bash guard. It's metal, it's pretty solid, and that's going to protect your teeth. It's kind of a chain ring guard here, and keep your pants a little bit cleaner as you're pedaling along. There's no chain guard per se, but I found that riding this thing, it's a folding bike, and you wouldn't want that to get caught or break or whatnot. So this is fairly effective. So I'm glad they did that. They didn't have to, a metal chain ring. That's pretty cool. Brakes here, V brakes front and rear. They work pretty well. And the rack, it's got the bungees and everything. The lights I mentioned before. Pretty awesome. Even if this was just a regular folding bike, you've got a lot of features here, and it's well balanced and it's aesthetically pleasing. In terms of the drive system, however, it's pretty sweet. You've got a 350 watt geared rear hub motor. All of the Easy Motion Neo bikes kind of share the same drive system, and this motor's pretty powerful, especially for a smaller bike like this. Being geared means it can be smaller and lighter, but it still offers good torque. The battery here is 36 volt 9 amp hour. That's pretty standard, but I love the design here. It's built right into the frame. Lithium ion, you're going to get lots of charge cycles. It's pretty lightweight, and because it's part of this sort of top tube, down tube thing here, it's distributing weight well across the frame. If you back up here, the weight is kind of right here. It's a little bit to the rear because of that rear hub motor, but it's balanced, and that's what you want when you're riding a bike. You don't have a big rack that's rattling and heavy and stuff. It's distributed, and I love that. So it's kind of a purpose-built electric bike. The LCD system right here is actually removable. Press the little tab on the bottom, slides right up like that, so you can take it with you. And that's great for kind of a commuter bike or a folder because, you pull that off, the bike almost just looks like a regular bike to an average person. It doesn't stick out as much. No one's going to be able to mess around with it. And in terms of folding, the way this works is actually the seat tube kind of locks it in place from unfolding. So I also really like the kickstand. It's kind of unique. We're talking about being purpose-built. It mates really well up to the frame, which I like a lot. So the LCD display here, the way it works is you press the power button for a few seconds, turns on, and then it shows you your battery life, your top speed here, how fast you're going, a few more tidbits in there, and it's actually can be backlit. But you get to choose from 4 levels of pedal assist, so you kind of start out at nothing, no assist, and then you go up to eco and standard, sport, and turbo. And of course, the higher you go with that, the more power you're using, and that faster your battery's going to run out. But with pedal assist mode, you're adding your own energy, and so it's more efficient. You get pretty good range on this. What I love, though, is that you've also got twist throttle, so you can just twist that, and the bike takes off. It's neat that it kind of offers both. I appreciate that, and it makes it kind of fun if you need to take a break with your feet. So I'm going to hop on this thing and show you the motor, kind of listen for it there. Hub motors are kind of neat because they operate independently of your pedaling, and they zip you along. It feels like a scooter. Gets going pretty fast, but I've got to say, the frame design on these, it's fairly upright. It feels like a regular bike, and that's kind of nice, because some of the folders and stuff can feel a little bit more rickety, a little less stable. And this one, that's not really the case. So it folds at the neck, and it kind of has this interesting fold-up design here. You you just lift and the whole bike folds right on that bolt right there. So it comes together in the middle, and then you can fold the front handlebar, take the wheel off. It gets pretty compact, which is nice, of course. So that's really it. That's the Easy Motion Neo Volt, the top of the line folding bike here. For the full written review, more info on this and other electric bikes, check out ElectricBikeReview.com. I'll see you there.